Geneticist, inventor, and entrepreneur George Church's technologies and ideas catalyzed the Human Genome Project, the Personal Genome Project, and more than 50 biotech startups. GenomeWeb editor Madeline Johnson spoke with him about the field's biggest breakthroughs and his vision for the future.
I'm very curious if you have some big picture overviews of the past 25 years, sort of the most significant developments in overall in the genomic space.
The three main revolutions is reading, writing, and editing. But then spatial omics would be another one, and single cell analyses, multi-omics. Those are all important. So it would be the fourth one. And we could go on and on,
Yeah.
It's been at exponential times. I think that was the way that I would summarize it. Very, very exponential.
Yeah, it's like that phrase, may you live in interesting times, but
Right.
Exponential times, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you see this coming? Did you, 25 years ago? I mean, yeah, it's hard to...
In certain ways, I think I saw too much. That is to say, I'm a tiny bit disappointed that in 25 years we haven't sequenced more people's genomes. I think we could have sequenced 8 billion genomes by now. Right now, we could use current technology, wouldn't have to scale it up that much, and it would pay for itself. So you wouldn't even have to raise any money. For serious Mendelian diseases, which affect about 3 to 5% of us, it costs millions of dollars per person affected, and causes a lot of psychological damage to the whole family, the whole community. So 3% of the population at a couple $1 million each, that's enough money to pay for the entire population to get sequenced, even though not necessarily all of them would benefit individually. They would collectively benefit, and we'd get about a tenfold return on investment. Might cost $800 billion, which is not that much spread out over a few years, and along the way you would be saving $8 trillion.
For you personally, do you remember any big aha moment that was so thrilling you can't forget, that it was transformative in some way for you?
I think the idea that you could use genetic engineering to make pig organs suitable for transplant was something that had been kicking around at least since the 1960s, where they did it with chimpanzees unsuccessfully. And I could see the roadmap, and the roadmap arrived basically, a year ago. We have 2 patients now that are off dialysis, and they seem to be very happy and healthy, and we have 30 more that are going in the clinical trial. So, that's, to me, that it's just breathtaking to see, be in the same room talking to somebody who has got a pig kidney that's keeping him off of dialysis, which I think almost all dialysis patients would far prefer to have a kidney transplant.
You actually met this person?
Yeah, they're both healthy, and that's a big thrill. I mean, for for a person whose scientific career could have been just abstract pure science, and a lot of what I did was abstract pure science, but to have even a little bit of it help somebody's life, and hopefully it'll be hundreds of thousands of people soon. We're scaling up production of the organs.
This is all driven by academia in a way, right? It's driven by research, but it's also, there's business industry driving.
I'd say it's the perfect village of government, academia, industry, and clinical resources like hospitals and so forth. Those kind of breakthroughs would be very hard to do subtracting one of the 4 components. Possible, but just harder. Yeah.
And is there possibly a teeny role for journalism?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, definitely.
No,
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
we don't always know. We know. I'm always
Well,
curious. Just how
I'm
does?
I'm I'm letting you know. I think we are deeply indebted to it. It raises consciousness. That helps the governmental and the philanthropy and so forth. Even sometimes internal funding within the university to support these sort of things during the delicate time at the beginning, where it's really hard, even in your mind, to connect the dots between, oh yeah, I'm going to be working with this enzyme that I got from a pathogenic bacterium called CRISPR, and I'm going to somehow use that in pigs, which has nothing to do with humans, and then boom, you're going to suddenly, it just seems like it's a little science fiction-y that that's what you would do, but that's what we did. But it takes journalists to explain that to people in advance, and to have them think about in advance what the risks and benefits are, and come to terms with it. And by journalists, some honorary journalists I would include would be, screenwriters for movies. That's a big way that people get their news, or especially their news about the future that hasn't happened yet. Right?
Yes.
It requires the imagination of fiction writers to get us to talk about it both positively and negatively. Sometimes decades in advance.
Is there anything else that you would want to tell our readers, our researchers, and people in industry who are developing technologies? Do you have anything that you would imagine would be good for them to hear from you?
The timing, I think, is great. I mean, if of all the eras so far, I mean, the artists in the future might be more fun or less, but all the eras so far, this is the one I would most like to be a scientist. And if I were in any other field, I would switch to science at this point. They can each do their own thing, ranging from writing fiction to getting the business models right, to negotiating with governments all over the world to do the right thing. So it's a terrific time to be on the edge of science as well as in the middle of it.
I love hearing that. I think I've heard so much worry, and it's reassuring to see a bigger picture and say, this is what a par for the course.
Yeah, there are going to be winners and losers no matter what happens. Climate change is going to create winners and losers. Reversing climate change will reverse those winners and losers. Asteroid hits the Earth and the dinosaurs die and the mammals rise. It's unfortunate that I think we're getting better at win-win, and we should all be looking politically and scientifically. We should be looking for things where there are fewer losers, maybe zero, just plain old win-win.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my final comment. Let's go for the win-win, everybody.